You can support this show at patreon.com/ASAPodcasting. Hello, welcome back, Skyrim Addict podcast. In the new year, I think we missed the end of last year. Life gets in the way. I'm Michael, joined by Ray.
Hello.
And Victor.
Happy New Year.
And we're back in January. I just want to give a quick shout out to the Tales of Tamriel crew. They did their live stream for God, why can't I remember the name of what it raises money for Children's Hospital Cancer Center.
St. Jude's?
St. Jude?
No. What's it called? Something Life? Can't remember. It's called Extra Life. Somehow I forgot that. Don't know why I can't remember. They do it every year. Drawing a blank. Apologize. But anyway, I hopped in a bit and was in chat when Lotus of Doom was on. Nice dude. And their live stream thing, and they just did a recap of it. So they've been going almost as long as us, maybe a couple months off. That's about it.
Wow. Awesome. Congratulations.
Not a lot of difference there. We have the speculation of the Oblivion remaster.
Yeah.
Which seems like legitimate speculation versus completely ridiculous speculation, I will say.
Yeah. I wonder how that makes the Sky Oblivion people feel. Huh?
Yeah, because they're almost done, too, from what I've heard. Yeah. That's got to suck.
So, kind of. Sure, we've been working on this for 6 years or whatever, and then some big giant corporation says, "Oh yeah, we're going to do that too," and they do it in 6 months. Whatever.
Yeah, and they're doing it. Yeah. Is it an Unreal Engine 5 or something like that?
I don't remember. Something like that. Yeah.
Something, or that's a speculation anyway. There's obviously no official details, of course.
Whatever I don't know if the video had what those were legitimate, scenes or what. I honestly don't know. I haven't followed up anymore.
Yeah, me either.
That first thing.
I figured I'd wait for an actual real announcement because everything else is just like noise. But
yeah.
Well, and it could be announced that they'll release it in 6 years too. So.
Yeah,
fair point.
Coming in spring of 2028.
I think they made I remember the video made a fairly decent point about whether it's the difference between a remaster and and what was the other term? I don't remember. But
update or redo or something like that, where one is just updating the graphics essentially and stuff, and the other updates the gameplay and graphics. Is that what it was? Is that what the difference they were saying?
Yeah, I think sort of similar to what they did with Final Fantasy VII, right? They did both, right? They did one of each.
Yeah.
So I think I'd prefer just the sort of the remaster of the graphics and leave everything else, the story and the dialogue and everything else alone.
Yeah, I'm hoping all that stays. I mean, maybe some of the gameplay aspect, like the combat or something, maybe update that a little bit. But
combat could use a lot of help.
That's true. Yeah, the combat would be nice. Yeah. Right.
Somehow I still play an archer in that game.
Click the button to swing. Wait for it, swing.
Okay, you're right.
It'd be nice to have it. I mean, it would be nice to have something. It would essentially be a new game at that point. It's been so long that being re-released in some way like that would, when was Oblivion? 15 years ago? 16 years ago?
2009?
Is that what? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, so like 16 years ago. So, that's a whole generation of people who, had no exposure to it really. So that'd be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, there's kids, including some of my grandkids who weren't even born yet. So yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Yeah. As far as Skyrim goes, so I played through the Bards College Expansion, which was as a Kingath creation, which I really love it. Actually, it's really great. It's on everything. I think if you're getting it on console, it is a paid Creation Club mod, but obviously it's available on the Nexus and stuff too. Really adds a lot to the Bards College, I will say. It really fleshed that out a lot more and made that a lot better. I didn't go down the musician end as much yet. I didn't explore that as much yet. I was working on the Battle of Wits and becoming an emissary, which I kind of enjoyed that a lot. But there's a lot there. You can busk, you can enhance your combat as a musician, enhance shouts and things like that. It was pretty fun.
Didn't he do another besides the Bard College one?
Oh, the East Empire.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, that I keep. So I'm in that right now because I had to completely delete. I had to uninstall and reinstall Skyrim because I was running into some weird issue. So of course, then I lost all my mods. So then I just rebuilt again and decided to do the East Empire while doing main quests and Civil War. Okay. Like doing a traditional playthrough of the game, essentially, along with the East Empire. So I've gotten further than I've ever gotten. I didn't have any issues convincing all the Jarls, so all that went smoothly. And now I'm just securing mines and locations for each section that they cover. I think there's one in Winterhold, one in Windhelm, Whiterun. So I'll secure the mines in those areas and things like that.
Cool.
And then apparently you can expand the outposts as you secure enough places for them. So that's kind of what I'm working on now to see how that goes.
Yeah, I think those at least that one in particular, maybe both of them require a new save. I don't know, so I probably can't install it on my current playthrough.
Yeah, I started fresh with both of them just because they were pretty expansive.
Yeah.
There was some new Skypothesis builds out there.
I saw that. It just popped up on my YouTube feed. I'm interested in that. I'm going to talk about another build though. So
and they also announced that there's going to be a new build the first Friday of every month.
Oh wow, good for
is that when
in 2025? Yep.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, so they released 2 of them at the end of last year, and then made that announcement. So January 3rd will be the first in their new 2025 series.
Cool. That's awesome. Cool. The one was like an ice warrior of some kind? You used like Stalrim armor and things like that.
Is that an update of their because their first build was a Skull, I think a Skull ice mage, something or other. I think way back.
Yeah, this is kind of more spell sword. Okay, it's a female character.
Oh, yeah. Right.
And then the other one was fishing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, why not? Yeah. Somebody's got to do it.
It's true. You completed the fishing storyline, right? Right?
Oh yeah.
I don't think I ever did. No, I'll be fair. I've never completed it.
You can fish up some cool stuff. There's some nice rings that you can get. That fit different kinds of play styles. The one I'm always looking for is the Ring of the Khajiit, because that gives you extra sneak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see that when I go into the cheat room, and I'm like, where is that from? I don't even remember where that's from. Now I know where it's from. Yeah, because I kind of built a character when I had to delete and restart. I had watched the one, the spell sword kind of ice warrior that they did, and I was like, oh, I like the look of it, so I kind of borrowed the look, and then I went with fire and ice. So I'm carrying Dawnguard and Chillrend. And Flame Cloak. So I use Flame Cloak, Dawnguard, or not Dawnguard, sorry. The sword. What the hell is it? Why can't I remember it? Meridia's beacon sword.
Oh, Dawnbreaker.
Dawnbreaker. Jeez, not Dawnguard. Yeah. It's because I just walked into a town and what's his name showed up and asked me to. So I'm using Dawnbreaker and Chillrend, and which is like this nice combination with a flame cloak. Which I can't use during the Civil War quest, by the way, because there's a lot of people around when you're battling.
Yeah, they get kind of pissed off, don't they?
Yeah, it didn't go well for me, and I was like, "Yep, you know what? I'm gonna have to put that flame cloak to the side and not use it in these battles, or we're gonna have a problem." So,
but seriously, guys, can't you see the ring of flames around me? Why are you walking into them? It's not my fault.
It's the heat of battle. That's all I can say.
Just let it go. Just let me go. I'll go. So I kind of took some like inspiration from the look of that character that they had built, and I was like, oh, this will be kind of fun and different, and using two-handed, one-handed in each hand, and having fun that way. It's been pretty cool. Going through the Civil War, the main quest, and just those two right now. Just bouncing back and forth between them, and I'm on the Ulfric's side this time, the Stormcloak side this time, which I realized I hadn't done in I don't even know how long. Because I'm like, oh, I've actually always ended up on the Imperial side recently, because I end up going and you take care of him in the throne room there. So I'm like, oh, it's been a while since I don't really remember the exact ending of this one. So that'll be interesting to see. It's probably been 8 years since I did it.
Yeah. Cool.
That was all I did in there, though. That was.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to some new cool builds, but I haven't played Skyrim since November 20th.
Ouch. Well, maybe not.
Well, that was when Stalker 2 dropped.
Right.
Yes,
yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
And I haven't played squat since.
Really? Wow. Is it that good?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that series.
Me too.
And this one is even better.
Wow. Good.
So, and it's cool because you're in essentially the same area, so the map is this, is familiar. You see familiar locations. I remember when this happened here, and oh yeah, there was a guy up there that was hard to kill, and stuff like that. So it's a lot of reminiscing, but
that's interesting. Okay.
It's the gameplay and the graphics are so much better now that
so it's not a remake, but it's taking place in the same time frame.
It's like 7 years later, 10 years later, something like that. Right. After the final installment, which was Call of Pripyat.
Right. Yeah.
And so you run into a lot of the same characters that are still alive.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting.
Same guy down in the cage downstairs where the guy sells you guns and things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sidorovich.
Well, I sure bought it, but I haven't. So yeah. So without spoiler, what can you say about it?
Prepare to die.
Okay. Is there a difficulty scale, or is it all one?
Yeah. There's it's the same as it used to be. So there's the rookie, the stalker, and the veteran levels.
Okay.
And playing on the stalker level, which is the what would be normal mode. Before I got a quarter of the way through the story, I'd already had over 200 deaths.
Oh, wow.
Oh, God.
So
is it I don't remember. Well, I don't remember what the original ones were, but is this one a save autosave game, or is it can you save your place as you go? Can you essentially save scum?
Yeah. So it does. It has an autosave function built into it, and it's not bad. You don't lose much more than like 5 minutes of play, but there's also a quick save.
Okay.
If you're going into a situation where
right, yeah,
you're going to find trouble.
Yeah.
It's helpful to do a quick save.
So much came out sort of late last year that it was basically too many games,
and it has a lot of so there's no leveling. So leveling is done by the equipment that you find and gather.
Oh, all right.
So it gets progressively better as the game goes on. But you can have the same pistol with you the whole time. But it's a fun game. It's a cool story. It's a fantastic location, to be able to walk around. And if you go on the internet and look up, photos of the exclusion zone, you'll see a lot of those exact spots.
Wow.
In the game. And you can see it. I mean, they're just, in the making of video, it shows that they snuck in and spent several days hiking around inside the zone.
Wow.
Taking pictures and, just getting the feel for things.
Wow. That's amazing.
So super realistic in that respect. And it's Unreal 5. So it is significantly higher quality graphics than the first 3 games.
Well, yeah, they were pretty. They had their own charm, but yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. So of course the war in Ukraine had a big impact. Probably not the least of which is there's no Russian voice actors.
Yeah.
And so it just seems a little bit different in that respect. A lot less accents. Playing in the English mode, everybody's got a UK accent.
Oh, okay. But can you still play because I used to play Metro with the Russian language and English subtitles.
Yeah. So you can play with Ukrainian with the subtitles,
which is close enough, especially if you don't speak the two. My mom spoke both and used to kind of demonstrate, but I never learned either one. So. But that's why I play with the Russian language on, because I just sort of familiar sounding.
Yeah, that would add an additional layer of difficulty that I'm not.
Yeah, you got to read faster or die and repeat a few times.
Because you're too busy looking around for what's going to jump out and kill you.
Yeah.
So not a lot of time to read.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that kind of adventure game.
Yeah.
I did try it. First person got me.
Yeah. Well, that's funny because I'm the same way with third person games. I can play a little bit and then I just no, can't do it.
It's funny. It depends on the game because I like Valheim. I'm very comfortable with Valheim. It works well. It's third person. There's no first person at all. But Skyrim, I still can't play Skyrim well. And part of that's because Skyrim is clunky in third person. It just doesn't work as well, especially picking things up. There's some mods that help with that and things, modernize it a bit. But Skyrim just still doesn't the camera, unless you put a good camera mod in there so it swings around like a more modern game. It just doesn't feel good. So
Yeah,
I tend to go back and forth in Skyrim.
Witcher Witcher I play fairly. It works.
So how far did you get in Stalker, Michael?
Oh, not very far at all. Like a few minutes in. It was so much movement and camera stuff that I was like, oh man, I gave it a go, and I'm like, it was some games I can go into first person and be totally fine. But that it must have been just the smoothness of the motion or something. It was just, and also it's a shooter and you're looking around and you're having to look over here, look over there real quick.
Were you playing on Xbox or PC?
Xbox. Yeah. And
I wonder,
I was sitting further back. So I wonder if it would be a little smoother frame rate wise on PC and might.
Well, it's probably frame rate locked on the Xbox, right? To 60.
Yeah, I would assume so. Yeah.
So I wonder if you could play it if your PC is powerful enough to play it like 120 or something.
Where it's a little cleaner. Yeah, smoother.
Yeah. Because I'm averaging at like 129.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, that might help, actually. Something like that. Yeah, because the other game, obviously, that came out was Indy and the Indiana Jones and the Great Cirlcle. Is that what it was?
Yeah, something Circle. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed what I've played so far.
Me too.
That's been my alternate was before Christmas anyway. I love and it's no spoiler, but the first scene, extended scene, is a reenactment of the opening of the first movie, which is just so much fun. It
was so fun. Yeah. I didn't realize that until I was like in it, and I'm like, oh wait, it's Alfred Molina.
That's awfully familiar. Yeah, that was just wonderful. But it's good.
I started watching a video on it. It looks super cool, but I was so neck deep into Stalker that I stopped watching because I didn't want to spoil it when I finally got around to playing.
Yeah. I think you said you haven't gotten out of the Vatican yet. I haven't either. I played into that for quite a fair ways, and then just got sort of involved in other things. Didn't game for a while early, sort of mid-December, because shit was happening here. Yeah. But we got over that. So went back. But when I went back to gaming, actually Ray inspired me. Ray, you said you'd play the I don't know if it's the latest anymore, but it was then the latest Fudge Muppet build, the Mage Knight.
Oh yeah.
So I built a mod list for that and started playing it, and I've had like hell of a lot of fun playing it.
Isn't it a kick?
It really is. And right now, and finally now, I just a few days ago, I reached the level in alteration and two-handed that they sort of designed the build for, particularly in alteration, where you have the Okado's. It's not Okado's recital; it's Okado's something or other. So every time you enter battle, you automatically load your best mage armor alteration spell. And then this is with the Valkyrie. With by the way, their pronunciation, I think, is about as correct as I've ever heard. Ination is the modder's name. I like that better than I've heard any anyway. But that's so Valkyrie and the initiate perk, where you can use any novice spell for no drain of magicka.
Right. Yeah.
And that makes it super powerful. Once you get really high level and two-handed, plus that with a follower or two, you are not invincible, but it's a really powerful combination. So I've really been enjoying it a lot. Plus I got that Wayrest armor, which is awesome. It's just great. And especially with physics, enabled, so the cape moves around.
Yeah, and you're all jingle jangle.
And the little chicken's leg it's wonderful. And the little tassel on his helmet is bobbing up and down. No, it's really good. I'm really enjoying it. It's such a great build. So I'm sort of moving into Dawnguard. Also, I apologize. I meant to at least load it up and look at it, but there's a new world called Olenveld, which I've loaded into this mod list, but I haven't been able to get there yet. Because I started out, I decided, because he's kind of a do-gooder, right? So I decided I'd start out doing the Helgen Reborn. So I went right through all of that, no sides, no Civil War. So I finished that, and and did a few side quests. I also loaded a new Meridia expansion called Meridia's Order. Yeah, Meridia's Order. And I just finished the Meridia quest, so I have Dawnbreaker and stuff. But maybe next time I'll have done some of those. We can talk about it. But it's been a lot of fun. It's a good build. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to starting another build with some of this, one of the Skypothesis.
That's a good build to do if you've never done Legendary before. But want to try it out, because you can start off with the master, whatever you're comfortable with, but you'll definitely hit a point in the build where you recognize that this is just way too powerful, and going to Legendary brings it back to fun, because you actually spend a little bit of time fighting things instead of just walking them up, popping them, they're dead, and off you go.
Fair point. Yeah. I'm not quite at that point yet. I'm playing in expert. I think I'm about to probably level it up to master. But yeah, I've started Dawn Guard, so I'm going to run through that. I haven't even started. I've sort of got to the main quest to. I'm using mods called At Your Own Pace, so nothing is pushing at me to get things done. Sorry, I'm shaking the desk here. So the main quest is sort of percolating in there, and I haven't really gone past. There's dragons flying around occasionally, but that's about it.
Yeah, I'm not one of the masochists that like to start off on Legendary, because it's just not fun to have to run from every single fight.
Well, I guess the thing about Legendary that bothers me the most is just the sponge factor, and So, but hey, I have full respect to people who love to play on it from the beginning. But yeah, I like to scale up my difficulty as my character gets better. I'll just
for sure.
Tree.
Yeah, I just slide it up if I feel like it's gotten to the point where I'm like one-shotting things and things like that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, because when it only takes 2 swings to kill a dragon.
Yeah, you've reached a certain level at that point.
You've hit that spot.
Yeah.
That's when it's time to move on up.
I started the dragons really late with that character, and so when I went up with what's her name?
Delphine. Yeah,
Delphine up to Kynesgrove. Walked up. Siliconeer comes out. I whack him twice, and he's dead. He goes, I guess you really are Dragonborn.
Yeah, and he sort of looks at it. He says, "Dude, come on, man.
At least let me get some scales on
That's
here."
Right.
Yeah. No scales, just bone.
Did you have to do that right in front of Alduin? Come on.
Yeah, right. Yeah, embarrass him in front of. Yeah, I just did that one actually. It just went up there, and also I never know what the actual path up the little hill from the inn is. By the way, like I can never find the actual path. I'm always jumping up rocks or something like that. And then Delphine arrives, and I'm like, where did you go? How did you get here? What?
It takes you way around, you start off on the left side, end up, way over on the right side. It's not a direct path.
No. And I'm like, I'm trying to get there before, he gets out of that grave.
Yeah.
But I don't think it kicks off until you're actually up there anyway. Alduin's flying around, but I think you have to be in proximity of the burial mound for it to go. Yeah,
you do. It'll trigger. I'm just looking to see what else I had in there. Yes, At Your Own Pace is highly recommended. I enjoy those little mods. Have you guys used them at all? At Your Own Pace?
I have before.
Yeah.
It does take some getting used to, because you expect things to happen and they don't.
Right. Yeah. You got to remember.
Like, wait a minute. What do I have to do? I don't know now.
And some of it's kind of cool. Like, for instance, the Dawn Guard, you don't, Durak I forget whether he even shows up at all, but basically if you want to initiate the quest line, you find a letter on there's 2 inns, the Nightingale Inn, and one of the other ones I can't remember, where you find a letter referencing something, and you go chasing after that, and that's what initiates Dawnguard instead of.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's all kinds of other little tidbits like that are kind of cool. So yeah, you don't have to. Have either of you done the alternate perspective start mod where you go into Helgen and it's pre-dragon?
Yep.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
That's pretty fun. I did that a couple months ago. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I thought that was fun. It was very different. You're like literally running around Helgen before it's destroyed.
Yeah, and you can leave it that way for quite a while if you want. And,
you can really explore the town quite a bit. There's some places you can like go in and everything, and
there's an inn and I think a store, and stuff. Yeah, and it's, I mean, if you do Helgen Reborn, eventually it'll sort of reach a similar level on the other side of things, but. Of course, I mean, you have to initiate at least the first, I think, whatever the first stage of the main quest is in order to get Helgen Reborn to go.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, Unbound. You have to finish Unbound, right?
Unbound. Yeah.
I feel like I should know that with every alt start I have, where Unbound is at the top of the list.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So,
because when you do the normal start, you don't always notice it. When you do the alt start, you don't miss it. Yeah.
It still bears sort of repeating. The Skyrim modding community continues to thrive. There's just never
so much.
It's just amazing. Last year was actually an amazing year for Skyrim mods. All these several big world mods came out. Version 6 of Legacy of the Dragonborn came out. It's just a bunch of stuff. It just doesn't stop. So
has there been an update on Odyssey of the Dragonborn? Is that what it was called?
I don't know, because I haven't looked to see, but I'm sure they're working on it.
Yeah, I haven't really seen anything. I have the I'm in the Ice Cream Assassin Discord channel, but I haven't seen any updates come through on that.
Yeah, there was all these. There's and this coming year, or this current year now, there's several big world mods anticipated. Odenveld was actually released early, which is why I was it just all of a sudden appeared. So I loaded it in, but I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. But there's several others that I see. So I did want to mention another game, and unfortunately, again, I've only played it. I played it last night for an hour or almost 2 hours because it sort of dragged me in. A couple nights ago, Sean and Kate and I were chatting on our Discord channel, and whilst we were chatting, they were playing this game, and they were like having such a great time. It's not it's a single player game. It's called Pentiment. It's an Obsidian game from a couple of years ago. Have you played it, Ray?
No, I've seen it.
It is a gas.
It looks really fun.
It really is. Yeah. So let's see. I'm going to go to the store page. So, oh no, it didn't give me the warning again. Shoot. Oh well. There's this great paragraph about what kind of things are. There's a little bit of a content warning because there's some, there's, I don't know. It takes place in the 16th century, so of course it can get very bawdy, and among other things, and a little violent. But it's this kind of 2D cartoony action adventure kind of thing, lots and lots of dialogue, and choices and consequences, and you play an artist who's at the beginning of the game. You're working in a monastery as doing illuminations, but you're just doing it on contract. You're not a monk or anything. But you start this storyline with a baron and all of the monks, and there's a lot of a lot of innuendo between the monks and the nuns. Let's just put it that way. And a lot of other things. It's just so much fun. And Obsidian is so good at stuff like that, right? So at story and writing and stuff. So I just from what I've played so far, it was a couple hours. Very highly recommended it, and it's pretty cheap. I think it's on sale right now. But yeah, $20. It's a lot of fun, and you can choose at the very beginning of the game. You can choose whether you want medieval fonts or legible fonts. But there's a lot of beautiful art. Clearly, their art. Whoever does art for Obsidian had a grand old time doing this. I've also been playing a little Valheim.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, started a new. Oh yes, and I also just to try it out and report slightly on it. I bought and played an hour or two of Return to Moria, and that also has a lot of. I sort of stopped because I want to find time with Sean and Kate so that we can all play together in there, because it's another kind of a little bit survival, base building kind of co-op game. So I really want to play it with other people and have more fun with it that way. But it's good. It's a good story start. Gimli is the main sort of story introducing character. Your character gets dropped into Moria by accident. I know it didn't get the best reviews in the world, but it seems fun. It's a little buggy.
Cool. It's a perfect time of year for it. We just finished up our annual Christmas rewatch.
Oh, cool. Yeah, actually it is. Yeah. And they seem to be working on it a lot too. So they're adding to it, adding situations, adding things. And so it's not a game that's been sort of orphaned.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. And a completely sort of game related, but not aside. I didn't really want to play Helldivers, but I started reading the books. Have you read the books? They're great.
Are they?
Yeah, they really are. So they're good as audiobooks. So that's an audiobook recommendation. It's Helldivers. They are quite good.
Excellent.
I haven't played the game, so I would. But
yeah, I haven't really done anything else gaming wise. Little indie, little Skyrim, little Minecraft. That was about it.
Yeah,
my foray into Stalker. You guys have a new round table, right?
Yeah, we're doing Fallout 76, the Brotherhood of Steel right now. So we're going through those two quests, Steel Dawn, Steel Rain, and then we're going to do the new section of the map, the Shenandoah Valley.
Ooh.
Oh, cool.
Ooh, nice.
Any Starfield?
Not since November 20th.
Stalker took him out.
Yeah, I had rushed to finish up a couple of projects, and so I finished all three of the faction endings for Fallout London. And then Hawks Gaming did a new Starfield grinder video. So essentially, without doing anything other than crafting, you get yourself to level 200.
Oh wow!
So I haven't had any characters that are that high. I think the highest I've been on anything is like 65. And so I played around with that for a bit, but no, it's been Stalker, required tasks for the Fallout feed. Stalker. The quests that are due this week.
Oh man. Oh, speaking of Starfield, so Jess is doing Starfield Lorecast, correct?
Yeah.
And then Kenneth, who I believe is a Fallout Feed listener, been around a long, long time.
Yeah. He does a great series of Starfield videos where he's gone through all the different shipbuilding modules.
Oh, cool.
And so he shows you the difference between, the various hab modules with windows, without windows, where doors go, where ladders end up, and all that kind of stuff. So that was a fun series, and he's done some builds.
And I think he's kicking off a podcast now.
Yeah.
So I will play the trailer at the end of this, but he had emailed asking about it. So
nice.
I was chatting back and forth with him. So it's like, cool. So I'll play it. Has there been any updates to Starfield since last one?
Not since Shattered Space. I think there was a patch released at one point, but nothing else released since then.
And no Man's updates.
We are in the Expedition redo holiday season.
Oh.
So right now we're redoing the Liquidators is what it's called. So that one's going on. Then there'll be two more. And so mid to late February, these will be done, and we'll probably get our big early in the year update.
Big
Big so usually update. Late January, mid February, there's an update. So
nice.
We almost recorded an episode this morning.
Oh, really?
But our candle maker slept in. But we should hopefully have a new episode out before too long.
There you go.
So,
and if anybody's looking, those are always in the show notes, the links to the other shows, by the way.
Yeah.
Just so everybody knows. I know like 99% of people don't look at show notes for a podcast anyway. So they are there if you happen to want to find it. Quick link. I'm drawing a blank on what I was going to say. Yeah, I think I'm just going to, I'm enjoying my current Skyrim character. So I'm just going to continue on through the entire main quest and the entire Civil War. Because I'm having a lot of fun. I am not crafting at all. I'm only using... now, I did not acquire these through the game. I acquired them in a special room. But I built the character to enjoy those specific items and like used actual game items versus crafting. I just knew there was no way I would have time to collect all the things I wanted to do to be able to do the character.
I kind of enjoy that. I mean, it's nice to follow a build. That's what I've done with the Mage Knight. It's just, he doesn't do alchemy. He does some smithing, but some enchanting. And it's kind of cool and to really stick to to something. Yeah. And without sort of falling back on sneaky archer and all that shit.
Yeah. Because I don't even carry a bow because I'm like, I will just fall back and use it.
Yep. Exactly.
I'm just gonna end up using it. And I rarely use like the cloaks, like flame cloak or frost cloak or whatever. I rarely use those. So I was like, this is kind of an opportunity to do something different and fun, and kind of came up with a little backstory of him being like abandoned on Solstheim after the family getting kicked out of Skyrim for whatever reason during a battle with the Imperials, and now he's returning home and helping Ulfric. So it's kind of I was like, this will kind of fit a little bit. It'll be something different. I can swing two-handed and kill some. And I've never really used Dawnbreaker that much.
That's one.
And it is really awesome when it blows up the the undead.
Well, the Mage Knight is a two-handed character, and I have a mod that offers you the option of Dawnbreaker as two-handed or a one-handed sword. So of course, I took the two-handed. So I use that, and then the the build is actually designed around Krisamir, which you get in the Folgunther or Forelhost quest. And I didn't really want to do that until later, so I was carrying around Dawnbreaker for a while, and just a couple nights ago, I finally did Forelhost and grabbed Krisamir, which is a fairly powerful blade. And now my smithing is leveled up enough that I can level it up to a good value. It's nice. Also, with that build, you're supposed to use a lot of scrolls. That's one thing I haven't really done much of, because he's supposed to be a very weak mage, very strong, fighter. So that's why you have the novice stuff. That's his backstory. He tells the whole story. But anyway, but the scrolls sound like fun. I bought a bunch of scrolls. I just haven't used them yet. So.
Yeah, I'm in the same jam there with. Yeah, you got a boatload of scrolls, but it's too easy to kill them with your sword.
That and scrolls take like master spells take some planning, right? Because they take several seconds to actually initiate. So you can't do them in the moment, because you'll basically end up as bloody pulp somewhere.
You have to do big swinging arm motions.
That's right. Yeah.
Kick those spells off.
Yeah.
It's a good 5-second wind up just to.
That's right. Yeah.
And by that time, you're squashed or bitten
pretty
or whatever.
Much.
Yeah. Yeah. I do wish the scrolls were easier to deploy. And more usable in that way. That was one thing Oblivion did well, is you could, I think, put them on like a hotkey or something, and it was pretty simple.
I don't think you can do that in Skyrim, can you? I've never tried.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
And even on console, on essentially the wheel, which was your D-pad, you could put them there and use them real quick. So I do wish. I feel like the scrolls became, or one of those things that didn't work real great,
Yeah.
I don't think I've really ever used them.
The only place I use scrolls regularly is if I'm going through the Bleak Falls Barrow as a low level character for whatever reason. I pick up both of the flame scrolls that they offer to you.
Yeah.
And as soon as the dude pops out of his little sarcophagus next to the word wall there, I just slam him with one of those, run away, and then slam him with another. And that's usually enough to take him down. So, you can whittle him down with other stuff later. But those are the only places I use scrolls regularly.
And for some reason, and I've probably noticed this before, but whatever graphics mod I was using, it gave you a really crisp view of Bleak Falls from the steps of Dragon's Reach, which I never really noticed that much before. But yeah, it was off in the distance. I was like, oh, that's different. I didn't realize you could actually see it from here. I know you can see it from other areas up, high up, but I don't think I've ever noticed it. I don't think I've ever stood outside of Dragon's Reach and actually looked.
Just looked around.
Yeah, you're kind of just running out the door or running in the door when you're up there on that, the entryway, essentially. I don't think I've ever stood around and been like, oh, let's look around. It's usually like, oh, yeah, we're running to the watchtower. Ah, yes. Okay.
See that mountain over there? You can go there.
Yeah. But I was like, oh, that's actually nice. You could actually get there. You can't go that direction, but you can get there. Well, that is all I guess we have this time. Cat scratching like crazy behind me. So hopefully we'll be back in a next month, like we kind of were doing before December happens. Which was a month, we'll say, for sure. It was a month on the calendar.
Yep.
So until then, if you have any Skyrim stuff you want to send in your builds, your stories, whatever. SkyrimAddictPodcast@gmail.com. And we can read them, or I can have AI read them. I could do that now. That wasn't available when we first started the show, so If you want to hop in that way, do it. And if not, check out all the other shows too. Butcher Baker, Candlestick Maker in Space, Fallout Feed, Dames Who Game, Starfield Lorecast now. What Jess is doing, if you want to check her out over there. And yeah, we'll see y'all next time.
Night.
Take care.